Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Hipster Podcast. This is your host, Jamil Hassan, the Crypto Hipster, where I interview founders, entrepreneurs, executives, thought leaders, amazing people all around the world of crypto and blockchain. And today I have another amazing guest. I have Vadim Rozov, who is the CEO of Simplify Labs. Vadim, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jamil. I'm honored to be here.
I'm honored to have you. So it sounds like we're at a good starting spot. Awesome. So let's kick things off. I ask you first question. I ask everybody is what is your background and is it a logical background for what you're doing now?
Uh, I believe it's logical because for the last 20 years I work in IT and I started as a developer, and it was a long way to become CEO. But on the other side, Web3 was also really interesting for me during this journey. And on some point, I decided that fintech is a really good approach and I should join this force. So not only as developer, but as a startup owner or director.
Got it. Very cool. 20 year. I worked in IT for like 17 years, so similar. Um, so I want to find out, first, like what Simplify Labs is all about. What's your vision, your mission, your goal with the company? What is that all about?
It's software development company. We are offering white label solution in centralized exchanges. So we are part of Kyrex Holding, and inside the holding also, for example, Maltese-based exchange with license on Malta. And it was really logical to offer the same software as we are using for Maltese exchange to other partners to use it. And one of our key advantages that we are deeply in regulation in Europe, MiCA. So we understand it from inside how to receive this license, how to be in charge with everything required. And we always improving our solution from the regulation point of view, not only from the technical one.
Let's talk about that. When I joined crypto in 2017, I was ICO advisor, and Malta was talked about as a very favorable country. And then a lot of people flocked to Malta, and you haven't heard about it as much as a crypto hub in recent years. So what's the history of crypto in Malta, and what's the current state?
So Malta really crypto friendly from the beginning, and it's not only about the regulation and how you can open the company in general, but from the taxation point of view also. It's at this moment one of the best uh, countries where you can open your company. From the other side, MiCA regulation, it's really not so easy to follow in general. So any European country, you want to be compliant with MiCA regulation, you should invest really heavily in the processes and policies and so on, policies. From one point of view, Malta well known for gamblings, for licensing, for financial fundamental support, and right now it's still crypto. Not from other side. Let's talk about the amount of licenses issued for this year. Malta not in the top countries. So at the top for me, surprisingly, it Germany. So they issued a lot of MiCA licenses already, more than other countries. And Malta only issued 6 licenses at this moment. That's all. So they are not so fast in issuing licenses. They want to only biggest players to be present there.
Got it. So um, the thoughts were that Micah has stymied innovation in Europe. What are is that a myth or is that a fact? And you know, how can Europe be more or less crypto friendly based on that?
I believe Mika, it's more about the security. So for the end users, for protection of the rights of the end users, and it's it doesn't regulate the Web3 in general, DeFi. It's regulate only centralized exchange and issuing of stable coins. So in general, if a company have custody of several $billion, yes, the government want to be sure that it will not disappear over the night, and everything related to this will be protected, let's say so. So it's not about innovations, it's about the regulation, the current state of regulation. And from my point of view, it was necessary at that point after the huge fails of big exchanges before. But will it be adapted to the Web3 requirements? Yes, it will be. It will be changed. It will be over the time after the first feedback, our first pioneers of adapt like implementing this regulation. We will see the changes in law, in requirements. Maybe additional requirements will be issued because it's always a combination of innovation and regulation. If too much regulated, you can be innovative and be successful on the global market, yes, but in the same time you want to protect the assets of the end customers. You don't want to say something next day, okay, we just lost everything because of new layer 7 blockchain was failed, and sorry, we can't restore it, yes. So it's every day I see that it's become more bank than exchange. You have the same regulation, you have the same rules, how we play, and the same taxation. I believe for the crypto it will be almost the same, and authority treat it like a virtual money, so it's the same bank, but in crypto.
Got it. Got it. I want to dive in. I'm going to dive into Mike a little bit more later, but I want to find out first. You know, you're a tech guy. I was a tech finance guy, but like offering, you have a turnkey crypto provider solution, right? I want to find out what's the most important aspects of building a turnkey solution from a technical perspective, and then also from the business perspective, and how you're able to address both areas.
Mhm. Like one of the most important requirements for the Mika and for the any exchange, and it's custody control. So when you choosing to build your own solution, the security of this solution should be on the first place, and this is really differentiate from the startup. When you start in something who is really small, you trying to create MVP, just prove the concept that the market needed, and later on you can think about how it can be protected from the security point of view. Right now, if you want to build something from the scratch, you should think about ISO certification from the first place, how not only technical but operational it will be secured and protected. And this is a long way, to be honest. We are building this solution for 6 years already from the day one, and we have like more than 150 developers assigned to this solution, continually working and improving it. And the custody and protection of the custody, let's say so, it's the first let's important things to be implemented. And the second, of course, we are on highly competitive market. You should have really good fee structure for your end customer to so they can choose to work with you. And at the same time, till the Mika, it was really hard to implement fiat, crypto fiat bridges on the European market, let's say so. So of course you can find some payment service providers who will be like crypto friendly, but in the same time it will be really high fee structure on top of your services. So that's why at this moment, this from the business point of view, it's much more easier to open account if you have Mika license in some banks and provide really competitive services. so of course, you can compete, let's say, on the price point of view with non-regulated or like gray area regulated service companies with Panama Bank open like accounts and so, because this is it's doesn't require so involve like investment in your structure. And but from the other side, this fund's not protected anyway. It's if a customer want to choose let's say not secure way, they can choose to go to some no-name exchanges and try to return their investment later on. But if we're talking about corporate world situation when the companies already want to accept payments in crypto, they want to invest in crypto, they are choosing to work with regulated entities.
So let me ask you why. You said start with security. So why? I understand that, but why is that the single most important thing to do first?
Uh, like uh, last year, we saw huge like security leaks, and I mean not only the data, which also important, but the funds itself. We saw, I believe, the biggest one was 1.5 billion, yes, from Bybit, if I'm not mistaken. It was hundreds of millions from the Indian exchange and so on. So anyway, even if you have something like 10, 20, 30 millions on hot wallet, it's already interesting for the cyber like let's say bandits, hackers, I don't know how to say correctly, to you will be aimed for them. And we are talking right now about the uh, professional organization who invest in and millions of dollars in what they are doing right now. So be just like garage uh, startup with no security inside and with ability to walk to you directly physically, or maybe do some cyber crime with your assets. It's more and more become reality for businesses. So it's in Mika, it's also requirements for security of your office, for access policies for access the funds from your workers, and so on and so far. It's not only about this software itself, but about the policies you implement and operation policies to your like day-to-day routine inside the company.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world to me because I think I might get the country wrong here, but I think one of the strongest companies I saw in Europe got coins paid. I think it's out of Estonia. They
Mhm.
got hacked by North Korean hackers, and they were following every policy correctly. They had strong they had strong infrastructure. I thought they were very powerful, yet they still got hacked, right? So, when you're building the security first, and then when you're complying with the Mika framework, a lot of exchanges like major exchanges have had struggled. Binance has struggled in a lot of countries. So how are you navigating that effectively and not facing the same issues that like the Binances of the world are? There's got to be a secret to your success to be able to navigate that.
Yes, the big difference in about the approach, if you are building something which is compliant from the day one and go to the market with compliance in your DNA, let's say so. This is and even before you start onboarding first customers, you already implement all necessary rules inside. This is much easier to follow this road than if you build something with no compliance in the engine at all. and then you with millions of customers or 100,000 of customers, you're trying to implement compliance later on. It's like non-reversal. You should start your solution from the scratch, and if you are really big enough, it's really hard to do. So the next step for Binance, for example, it's to buy already existing company with compliance inside and operate under this company, or to build something from the scratch and onboard customer only with that. From European Union, of course, I mean. And this is the big difference. It's like you plan and start, and then work as compliant company. Then you start, and later on think about what about compliance? Should we implement something? Yes, you should from the day one. So, for example, if you you can't accept even and $1 deposit if you are not collected all necessary information from the customer. But if you already was successful working with them without this information, it's hard to make reverse compliant.
Yeah. From my perspective, that makes sense to me. From my perspective, recently, this only happened recently after 5 years of doing podcasts, is people have pitched to me and said, be our partner, be our strategic partner, and get our name out there with our exchange. And I look at some of the comments about these exchanges, and like they're not good comments. So I'm like, I would destroy my brand if I partnered with somebody unreputable. So from a service provider standpoint, I think it's why is it important for the service providers to also consider, what you're doing and what's in your DNA to begin with, instead of just looking at like, a few bucks.
Yes, I agree with you. And so problem with Binance, from my point of view, it's already this huge long history behind, which is in European. Any European bureaucrat, they will see the history, they will see the lawsuits, they will see this, and they better ban this application than take a responsibility to accept this application.
Yeah. There's another rule out there in the Europe called the travel rule. I haven't talked about that in a year and a half. I just want to find out where you're at on that, or does that apply?
Yes, this is one of the most controversial rules to implement, because right now around this travel rule, a lot of companies building from the scratch. This is the area for startup to grow, because this is about information collected from the different sources. Right now, the latest one building like integration to each another as a like special, let's say, infrastructure for that. So, for example, if it's like routing for travel rule. So if this, for example, we are using SubSub for KYC, they have built-in travel rule functionality, and they collect all information from the different VASPs connected to them about the transactions. And when customer receive payment, for example, we can ask this solution about, do they know what's the name of the sender, and in case they don't know, we will ask customer about, please provide this information before this payment can be accepted. And after they provide it, we can send to this solution these names, and later on, if somebody asked about this about this address particularly, this information will be shared as known, and you can accept this information for using. So this is automation, but we have several big players on the market. They are creating consortium, they are creating some way to integrate in each other. And even if you don't know the name of the sender, you can ask like broadcast, okay, I have this information, this wallet. Do any of you know the sender? So, and right now in this area, it's new startup is building. I believe it will be like really good business for long term like company investment. If you want to create something from the scratch right now, it's a great place to start in crypto.
I was, yeah, yeah, I understand. Um, I was told that if you're not, if it's not, if a new startup's not on Ethereum, then it's dead on arrival. I disagree. What do you think? You know, of the lay of the land, the way it is right now. And I know we've had a down month. I thought we were going to have Uptober.
Mhm.
We had Downtober,
Yes.
but what's your outlook for the L1 growth and over the next year or so?
You mean about the coin price or in general implementation of the new project on it, or what do you mean?
Both, and there needs to be a separation now. There didn't used to be a separation. I think there needs to be a separation now, right?
Yeah, because I still think that Ethereum is great for businesses to start something new on it, and even on the layer one, they have really great achievements about the price of the gas, of the transactions, and so on, and it's really reliable. But in the same time, we I don't see how it is growing for the like Bitcoin worth right now twice or three times more than 2 years ago. Ethereum the same price, even lower, I believe. So maybe it will be some investment opportunity because right now big whales investing in long for the Ethereum, for the Bitcoin, and they believe in that it will be growing. So maybe yes, but in the same time, as a technology, it's great. I really like EVM blockchains, and the current situation, it's ready to be implemented on enterprise level.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we need a better user interface than just MetaMask or some things like similar to the MetaMask. So I want to find out from you what some of the as a developer, what some of the key features for effective user interfaces are, and not just for exchanges, but like OTC issuers, liquidity hubs. What are some of the effective user face, development technology or applications that would will help users?
Uh, from my point of view, we already can differentiate Web3 developers who is doing working with smart contracts and like with blockchain itself, and just end user interface developers. I mean, like business logic on top of the blockchain, because the services right now provided direct access to the blockchain over API. You don't need to install like set up your own nodes. You don't need to deep dive inside the logic of smart contracts, how it's working, everything. So you can build on top of the blockchain your customers solution to store value or some data or something else without even knowing how it's working inside. And it's great because it's like uh, it's open gate for the huge amount of developers to the crypto, and they can implement even let's say you want to implement deposit functionality so you can accept payment in crypto. You can take ready like payment gateway ready to use solution, or you can just directly access to the let's say node as a service and create wallets and accept the payment in crypto. And you don't need to have deep knowledge of development of this in this area. You can be just Node.js developer or something else which is not connected to crypto itself.
Got it. Got it. So I'm thinking, that user exchanges are one way to on. They said everybody talks about mass adoption, onboarding the next billion. I'm thinking Europe can still onboard the next billion of people. What are some of the effective ways that you see will be able to get, retail users back into the game? Because I think a lot of them left during FTX, but they're, now it's more institutional adoption. How do you get the retail players back, and what are some of the ways that you think you can do that?
I believe this is directly connected to this development functionality which you can implement without knowing blockchain, because it will be for the end user. They can even don't understand that they're using blockchain that at all. So, for example, in banking application, in Robinhood, in any I don't know other Revolut, it's crypto available, yeah, and you can like buy, let's say, stable coin from the application with one click, like just swap from the fiat to the stable coin. And in case somebody asked you, oh, can I send you abroad some stable coins to support or pay for your service or something, and you can, okay, I don't understand how it's working. Okay, go to Revolut and just give me this line of address. Yes, and I can deposit to you. And it's really easy. You don't understand how it's working, but it's like IBAN. I have like line of numbers or something I give to you and I receive payment. I don't care how it's working behind. This is the same approach, I believe, will be about mass adoption. So you will know that it's some blockchain, something connected to it, but you don't understand how it's working. You just accept, receive payment, and you can spend it on the cards, on the your services, on Netflix, whatever you want. And this is mass adoption. Right before, a couple of years ago, to spend something from MetaMask, you should understand a lot. So how to connect, how to switch blockchains, how to pay for the gas, and so on and so far. And it's never will be mass adoption in this situation. So you should teach yourself how to use this application. I don't want to teach myself. I want just to spend my money. I'm working in, for example, I am regular customer. I'm working in not non-technical work, and I don't have time to do this. But if it's really easy, for example, my mother is a psychologist, and she accepting payment from the international clients. And like couple months ago, she asked one of the customer want to pay in crypto, how to do so. And wow, so yeah, it's possible, it's really easy. You can go there, click send. And she told me, okay, I received the payment from this customer. Is it's real money or not? I say, yeah, it's real money, you can use it.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think of like applications like Robinhood, like coin, like exchanges. There's Coinbase. There's but there's other applications that you have right on your phone, that you can use around where you have WhatsApp, you have WeChat, you have Telegram, which I'm scared of because I get all these spam things, but Telegram bots, there's bots on there, and they're not necessarily, I think, working effectively, right? So with some of these apps, with the WhatsApp, with the Telegram, how do we improve the bots not working properly so that people can trust them?
Uh, we also have like implementation of Telegram bots to as a wallet or as a exchange interface, so you can use it in our services. So for us, it's just additional way to show information to the customer. If they want, they can go to the web. If they want, they can install application. But it's a really convenient way to use the same account but in Telegram bot. So you see your balance, and you can easily check, send payment or receive payment, and receive notification in Telegram that you have deposit just arrived and you have it on your balance, yes, without go to the mobile application. So this is just a matter of choice for the end customer what to use. And from the adoption, I believe for the crypto, Twitter and Telegram become a standard must-have to use and for information spreading and like crypto community building and so on. And ability also to use Telegram as a payment method. And we were really thinking about the Telegram and Tom will be next huge move, like this mini apps for the like click and collect, or like mini games where you can clickers, yes, you can earn some tokens from the doing some repetitive job. And but it didn't, and I am really happy that this meme coin in let's say wave already passed, because it was not about mass adoption. It was about taking money or time from the people who just want to get some 10 to 20 bucks more from up to their salary. So this is not about daily routine you are doing, and it's easier for you. So, but in general, mm, I believe this Telegram as a way of communication with the end customer, as the interface where you can enter some details and receive some answers. It's a great way. You can build the same. We have Telegram bot, but you can build the same for Discord, for example, and it will be working the same way. So you will have account and you can receive payments and so on. This is also possible. So it doesn't matter where you're going, crypto near you at this moment.
Awesome. So people using the apps won't even know it's using the blockchain. So that's that, like before, if you're using MetaMask, you know you're using blockchain. You know they're using these apps. I'm just using the app. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't to the end customer. I believe it doesn't matter how it's working. The most important that it's working and you can receive your or send your payment. And the next step, who you can trust or not. Yeah, many applications which is, let's say, not secured enough or even created from the scammers. And in this situation, the most important to build your brand based on some really values and provide your end customer the like working solution where they can be sure that funds is secured and you are take care of them, of custody.
Well, this has been a fun and wonderful and educational conversation. That I enjoyed. So I want to thank you very much for your time today. I have one last question. Um, so how can people find out more information about you, about Simplify Labs? How can they, start using, become clients, customers, yours? How can they do that?
Yeah, this is like offer or opportunity to the businesses who want to work in crypto area or own, for example, OTC desk or want to launch exchange or receive license and apply for the license in the European Union. This is where we can jump in and help you to save not only like 5 years of our work, we can provide you for the like setup fee. Yeah, no, you are not spending 5 years in the same time. And from the other side, we already like each year we are obliged to go through certification in the security of penetration test, DORA compliant, and so on and so forth. So we are for the businesses who want to launch their exchanges, and we will be really happy to work and help these businesses.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.